Dems pop their dentures when Schiff finally gets censored. And so the House condemns the lies of the man with the zombie eyes. Last voted on party lines to censure Adam Schiff for promoting the Trump-Russia collusion hoax, which was as believable as Brian Kilmeade getting fan mail. 2 for 2. Schiff becomes only the 26th member ever to be censured, but to his credit, he's still the only member to have a 12-inch neck.
Okay, so imagine Adam Schiff walking in all confident thinking he's got this, and then boom, Greg Gutfeld's already there with that sly grin and fiery jokes that burn through everything, and poor Schiff just stands there like he brought a spoon to a sword fight, and honestly, it ends before it even starts.
Poor Adam. He really thought he had him. Well, we've talked about who won the impeachment trial. Now let's talk about who didn't. As I said before, don't think the Dems aren't going to stop trying to find dirt on Trump. They'll look anywhere. Hell, they'll go to a local high school if they thought they'd find the goods there. Right, Adam?
All right, listen, before we go any further, hit that like button and subscribe, because trust me, you don't want to miss this one. So, Adam Schiff walks into politics like an overdramatic actor in a cheesy soap scene, all serious face and fancy talk. But the funny part is, his big evidence never actually shows up like that pizza guy who keeps saying he's almost there. But 3 hours later, you're still sitting hungry, wondering if the food ever existed.
Unfortunately for Adam, not even Mitt Romney could help him. Everyone knew there weren't enough votes to convict. Even the media, their only way out of this hell, pretending that Mitt was a hero.
This was a profile in courage and that there's still room for mavericks here in Washington.
It felt historic indeed. It will cement Senator Romney's legacy.
Romney stood in the well and he seemed to be reaching for the ghost of John McCain.
The Mitt Romney decision is a fascinating one for this reason. He is now the president of the Republican resistance to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
For years, Schiff has been repeating the same boring show like he's stuck on replay all talk. No proof, just clickbait politics, and now even his own fans. See, the act is old, but he's still out there pretending he's dropping wisdom when really everyone's just done watching.
Phase while it lasts, Mitt. In 2 weeks, he'll go back to hating you, trust me. And you'll have to find someone to commiserate with. Someone who understands rejection. Right, Adam?
And now Adam Schiff FaceTimes Joe Biden.
Hunter, is that you?
It's Adam Schiff.
Never heard of her. Look, I once ate a giant bag of rock salt at the Daytona 500. Wasn't even a problem.
500. That's a number, right?
Then Greg Gutfeld shows up, and if Schiff is the clueless detective in some crime show, Greg is the funny sidekick who cracks the case with one sharp joke. Schiff tries to look all serious like he's in charge, but Greg just sees comedy gold, and while Schiff tries to act tough, Greg makes everyone laugh, and you already know who wins that round.
Yeah, what'd you think I was going to say? Being censored, which is basically an official serious scolding, is a punishment just below being expelled from Congress. But when Speaker McCarthy made the announcement, Democrats did what they do best, mindlessly scream hysterical nonsense.
The resolution adopted. Without objection, the motion to consider is laid on the table. House will be in order. The House will be in order. I have all night.
I have all night.
Watching it was like seeing someone bring homework to a comedy show. Schiff tried his serious act, but Greg sliced through it with jokes so quick it was over before Schiff blinked, and once people started laughing, the whole act collapsed, leaving Schiff looking like a magician caught mid-trick trying to play it cool while everyone laughed.
Sure that we uncover the full details about the conditionality of either the military aid or that meeting with the Ukraine president. It may not be necessary to take steps that might reveal the whistleblower's identity to do that.
Not necessary, so much for transparency. But like everything, the Dems haven't thought this through. So not only are you going to impeach Trump, you're going to do it in secret, in the dark, reversing an election based on hearsay from some anonymous guy you will never ever see who has ties to Democrats.
He's like that friend who hypes up a big surprise and then says he just bought a toaster, and after a while no one cares to listen anymore. Gutfeld just said what everyone already knew. Schiff's all drama, no delivery, and the moment laughter showed up, his whole serious act crumbled like paper. He went from acting powerful to becoming the joke itself, always almost finding proof, almost showing corruption, confrontation, almost exposing something but never really getting anywhere, just waving those same old tricks while everyone finally catches on.
Wouldn't shut up for a party named after democracy itself. They do sure hate it when people vote on stuff. But he did have to go to the front of the chamber known as the Well. Think of it as like a walk of shame, and not the kind I did this morning leaving Hemmer's place. I only had one shoe. To discuss this further, we go to the man himself. An audience, no booing. We are a respectful show here. Please welcome Congressman Schiff. How are you?
Shame, shame, shame. Shame on you. Oh, yeah.
The more Schiff tried to act serious, the easier he made it for Greg Gutfeld to roast him. Schiff was mid-speech doing his usual trust. Me, I know, more face trying to sound like a teacher scolding kids, but instead of silence, everyone just laughed and Greg didn't even bother arguing. He just stood there with that smirk tossing jokes like darts, while Schiff kept feeding him more lines, thinking he was winning. It was like watching someone pour gas on a fire while bragging they're putting it out.
It would be bad when the Republicans took over, but it's far worse than we expected.
Cue the violins, people. But can he promise you this?
But I can promise you this. This is not the end of my fight for our democracy. This is just the beginning. Please join us and contribute today. Thank you.
Here's my question. How much will it cost for you not to run?
Schiff just couldn't switch it up because his whole thing depends on people taking him seriously. And once that was gone, he was just a guy in a suit trying to look important while everyone laughed. Gutfeld knew exactly what to do. He pointed out how Schiff kept repeating the same tired lines and fake promises he's been making since forever and turned it all into a big joke. Schiff thought he was giving a serious speech, but really the crowd had already changed the channel from drama to roast, and he was the punchline without even knowing it.
That and the fact that Schiff hasn't blinked since 1992. And he didn't take the news so well. The disgraced Democrat went on TikTok to complain. Behold.
I'm Congressman Adam Schiff with some troubling news. Today, Kevin McCarthy removed me from the House Intelligence Committee, all for doing my job, for holding Trump accountable and standing up to the extreme MAGA Republicans.
The crowd made it worse for Schiff. You could literally see it happen. People started smirking, then laughing, then realizing maybe the big serious guy wasn't so serious after all, and every laugh just pulled more power out of him till he looked like a walking meme. Gutfeld didn't even need to push hard. He just showed everyone how tired the act was. Schiff thought he was doing Shakespeare, but it was more like reruns of a soap that got canceled ages ago, and now no matter how serious he tries to sound, people will always remember the roast and laugh before he even finishes a line.
The curb, and the irony is superb. He went crying to mommy on an app run by Chinese commies. Congressman Adam Schiff announced this morning he's running for U.S. Senate in California, which is guaranteed to boost U-Haul rentals headed for Texas. He unveiled the highly polished and produced political ad right on the heels of getting booted from the House Intel Committee. Coincidence? I think not.
Schiff's name isn't about politics anymore. It's about being the guy who got roasted so hard people still laugh when they see him. He tried to look serious, but Gutfeld's jokes broke that act in seconds, showing the monster Schiff warned about was just an old coat, and now one good joke did more damage to his image than all his speeches combined.
We were having hearings on impeachment while the coronavirus was exploding. We talked about that virus in green rooms, but we had to do this impeachment story. We had to show these hearings. It's all on him, man. He's got to go. They got to investigate him. They got to hold him accountable. I'm not going to say he should go to prison, but my evil twin will say he should go away to prison for a very long time.
Gutfeld turned Schiff's serious lines into comedy gold. And now people remember the jokes, not the speeches. That's the real loss. Going from a big statesman to just a punchline. Schiff still plays the old game where acting serious meant power, but comedy doesn't care about that. Gutfeld poked holes in his whole act and proved you can't fake substance forever. Schiff walked away, not as the leader he wanted to be, but as the guy who got roasted without Gutfeld even trying.
He done for Adam Schiff because he created 3 years of a massive fallacy that did so much damage to this country and made us miss probably one of the most important stories of our lifetime. We were having hearings on impeachment while the coronavirus was exploding.
You know what's wild about Schiff's whole public roasting? It wasn't just the burn. It was the way it exposed how fake the whole political show has become. Schiff is that old type who thinks using fancy words and a serious face makes people obey, and yeah, maybe that used to work, but then Gutfeld showed up and turned that fake power into a joke, and suddenly Schiff's big serious act looked like a costume party gone wrong. His so-called credibility just vanished, and honestly, he's not the only one. Plenty of politicians still think repeating the same scary stuff makes them sound important, but now people see through it and they're laughing instead of listening.
Yesterday's hearings, I had so much fun. I'm back, baby. Pretty soon I'll have my high-back chairman's chair again.
I don't understand. You're happy? I didn't realize you were, don't you realize that you were censored by a majority in Congress?
Yes! Isn't it wonderful? I'm very pro-censorship. Censorship. Oh my, that's hard to say. The point is, the cameras are on me again, and this time, I'm ready for my close-up, Mr.
These days, memes, jokes, and late-night punchlines have more power than the politicians they roast, and Schiff learned that the hard way. He walked in thinking he was writing history, but Gutfeld turned him into the headline itself, the joke, not the hero. Schiff's whole image depended on people seeing him as serious, untouchable, the adult in the room. But Gutfeld shattered that illusion with pure comedy. He didn't need facts or files, just one sarcastic jab, and suddenly all that authority melted away. It showed how weak the old political show has become, because when laughter enters the room, seriousness runs for the door. Schiff spent years acting like the watchdog of democracy, the man with the secrets. But one joke from Gutfeld made him look like the guy who took himself too seriously and missed the punchline. And that's the real destruction right there. It wasn't just a bad moment, it was the end of a brand. Schiff wanted to be remembered as the truth teller, but now he's remembered as the man who got laughed out of his own story.
I'm troubled by this. Even though I know it's not real, I'm bothered. Finally, Congressman, you're running for an open U.S. Senate seat in California. What's your message to voters who might be skeptical of your agenda?
I think you mean my agenda. That's how I say it now. I like the hard G, because that's what I'll do. Do you like impeachment? That's my agenda. Vote for me and I'll do it agenda. And I have one man to thank for all of this. The Orange Man himself. If you excuse me, I'm going to go celebrate with a glass of wine.
The timing couldn't be worse for Schiff, because the whole political game is changing. People are sharper now. They question everything, and they don't fall for the same old serious talk anymore. Schiff is still stuck in the past, acting like it's the 90s, where a few scary words could control the crowd. But Gutfeld belongs to the new world where sarcasm rules and laughter exposes more truth than speeches. Schiff is out here playing chess while everyone else is busy roasting the board, and the worst part is, he can't even fight back. If he gets mad, he looks weak, and if he tries to be funny, it's even worse, cause nothing is cringier than a politician forcing a joke. Gutfeld's already written the scene, and Schiff is just the straight man in his comedy show. Now, he's not just mocked for one night, he's permanently stamped as the guy who overpromised, underdelivered, and got burned by humor so bad he never recovered. Gutfeld doesn't even need to do anything anymore. One perfect joke was enough to tear down Schiff's whole image and prove that even the most serious act can crumble the second people start laughing. If you love fun and real breakdowns, then hit subscribe to Jacob Reports right now, because this is where you get the truth, the drama, and all the entertainment, and don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss a roast.